Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. So in today's video I'm going to do a quick KelpDAO / Aave update video. Those of you who watch the channel or follow crypto will know that there was a large hack on the 18th of April. I did a video about it on the 19th. We didn't really know what was going to happen. It was just really kind of like informational. But we now have a really good idea about what's going to happen. If you don't want to watch the whole video, the good news is the losses aren't going to be socialized amongst kind of users, so very good news for everybody involved. But I just want to run you through the kind of the timeline of what's been happening over the last 10 to 12 days and run through what the kind of like resolution is. So essentially on April the 18th, 292 million was drained from Kelp's bridge. So this is essentially a staked Ethereum on layer 0, and it was exploited basically to allow this staked rsETH basically to be withdrawn from their kind of like bridge, or taken from their bridge, that wasn't actually backed by anything. The hackers then deposited it largely on Aave. This is why we've been talking largely on Aave, but also some on Compound, and borrowed $235 million of other tokens, largely wrapped Ethereum against it. So the day after this happened, Fluid introduced something called the Aave wrapped ETH redemption protocol. So a lot of people had Ethereum on the mainnet, on Ethereum mainnet, on core, on Aave, and they were basically kind of like locked in. Essentially all protocols, including USDC and USDT on Aave's kind of core, became 100% utilized, and it was very difficult to get money out of the kind of platform. So Fluid, along with 1inch and various other protocols, introduced this redemption protocol that allowed people to get their wrapped Ethereum off of Aave and to exit the platform. Then the day after that, on April the 20th, Aave then freezes wrapped Ethereum across essentially all their kind of markets, so across core, prime, Arbitrum, base, mantle and linear. The day after that, on April the 21st, the Arbitrum Security Council freezes just under 31,000 Ethereum that were being held on Arbitrum that were connected to the exploit. So this was the first sort of freezing of kind of assets and the first real kind of concrete idea that we were going to get some of this, some of these kind of coins back. And then probably the most important part, 2 days later, so on April the 23rd, DeFi United. So this sort of kind of protocol, this DeFi United kind of platform was being touted, and it had initially pledges from Lido Finance, EtherFi and Athena, and this was what really started the kind of cascade of lots of different kind of platforms joining and helping out. So that happened on the 23rd, and there were Lido Finance pledged 2,500 staked ETH, EtherFi pledged 5,000 ETH, and Athena rather pledged an undisclosed amount, but a sizable amount. And then the day after that, Token Logic posts a governance proposal for the Aave DAO treasury to contribute 25,000 Ethereum to this hack. And then the day after that, which was also interesting, was Arbitrum proposal to release the frozen ETH that they froze a few days previously to DeFi United. Also, in a really quite unexpected move, Solana Foundation announced that they would be supplying Tether, so USDT, to Aave to help in their kind of recovery efforts. And this was the first non-EVM chain that really kind of stepped in to kind of help out. And they also announced that Aave would be launching on the Solana kind of network. Then the day after that, Kelp, obviously the platform that was originally hacked, announced that they would be contributing 2,000 ETH from their treasury. And there's an announcement later that day on the 26th that the recovery fund had reached the amount to fully back the rsETH that was originally sort of fraudulently minted. And the day after that, on April the 27th, Consensus and Joseph Lubin commit up to 30,000 Ethereum. There's a proposal for Compound to contribute up to 2,000 Ethereum to DeFi United, and also Circle Ventures start purchasing, or announce that they're purchasing Aave token to support the kind of platform. So at this point, everything's looking pretty rosy. The day after that, Layer 0 Labs, obviously the original kind of happened, KelpDAO was on Layer 0, and they pledged over 10,000 Ethereum to DeFi United recovery. That's a mixture of, I think, 5,000 going into the actual kind of recovery to reback the token, then 5,000 for collateral and other stuff kind of going forward. And then also on that day, DeFi United issued their technical implementation plan of how they're going to restore rsETH back in and unwind these positions on Aave and Compound with as I mentioned at the beginning, no losses socialized to users. So that's kind of where we are currently. It's currently the kind of 30th. There are still some little bits and pieces. There's some governance votes and there's various other bits and pieces that need to be completed before it's completely kind of sorted. But at this point, it looks like a really fantastic kind of coordinated effort from the entire DeFi community coming together to kind of patch up the issues caused by this hack. So if you are involved in rsETH, if you have stuff, it's really good news for you. If you also just had various kind of wrapped ETH on Aave's platform and worried that the contagion might spread and you might be socialized some of the losses, that looks like that's not going to be the case. So just wanted to give you an update. Let me know if you were involved, how it kind of affected you, anything like that. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you give me a like and a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video, but until then, have a great day. Bye bye.